So good evening, everybody. Apologies for being a little bit late. We had a few technical difficulties that we hope we have resolved for the meeting. And the mayor will be here shortly. So we will go ahead and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 5, Chapter 39, Section 1.5, Notice of Remote Public Meetings as required by law.
Thank you. So on our workshop agenda, we have three things: old business, new business, and review of the regular meeting agenda. So in the area of old business, does anybody have anything that they would like to contribute?
No,
I'm good, Anita.
I'm okay. I'm good, thank you.
I don't
Okay.
know, Nita, I don't know if this really, we haven't spoke about it in a long time, but the red building on Jelline Avenue is down.
Yay.
Yeah.
Best Buy today.
Yeah, I did this afternoon coming into town. I seen it. I was very surprised. So again, I don't know if it's old business, but it's good. It was good to see it down.
Yeah. Nick, you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I'd just like to add that our office worked diligently on getting that building down, as well as many others in town. I think everybody's seen the building at Westwood and Bath that's in the process of demolition right now. And I think it just builds on the success that we've had in getting these deteriorated buildings down. There's been a long list of them, and we're continuing the good work in that regard.
Good. Billy, thank you for bringing that up. And Nick, please pass on to your folks. Great job. Truly appreciated by all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in the, yeah, I don't know if this is old business or new business. When we bring something up in new business, does it say new business or does it transfer over to old business? So let me ask you about the what I brought up last time in new business, which was the invitation to our boards and our commissions to come and do a short presentation for during our workshop meetings for the mayor and the council and all the folks who are on the screen right now. In your packet, you saw a draft of a letter and a list of the boards and commissions that would be invited. And George, I'm going to address, when we get down to that list, I'm going to address your comment in terms of, who should be included on that. So maybe let me just open it up, hoping everyone had a chance to read it. If you have any comments, any advice moving this forward?
I think you should set some guidelines of what you're looking for these people to report to you to.
Okay.
I mean, are you looking for what are their deadlines? What are their goals? What are they doing now?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I did say, you know what, I was kind of, when I wrote this, Mary Jane, I kind of had you in the back of my mind because I know you asked that about something else. So when I wrote this, it's, asking people to do a short presentation about some of your recent accomplishments and priority projects in the coming year and how the administration can be most supportive of your work. I thought it kind of left it open-ended. Do you think it needs more definition than that?
I think what needs to be done, just give them some suggestions of what they could report on. Not anything formal, just informal.
Okay. Okay. Any other comments and are you all right with this going out?
I read it also. It's pretty good the way it's drafted. I would add what Mary Jane said, give them some comments, and I have a pretty good idea with that.
Okay. Okay. Billy Rose?
I agree with Mario and Mary Jane. So,
I
Okay.
agree. Also, just want to keep in mind, an eye on how long the presentation is. I know you said short, but
Yeah.
again, sometimes we have a lot of things to discuss and we want to make sure that they don't
Yeah.
take up more time
Yeah.
than need. That's all.
They
Yeah,
have 10
More
minutes.
than 5 minutes.
yeah, I said, no more than 10 minutes, including a brief Q&A. You want it shorter than that?
I don't really think we can make it any shorter. You're gonna bring somebody out for a cover for 3 or 4 minutes. It's not worth their
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
think 10 minutes works out pretty well.
Yeah, let's play it by ear a little bit with, starting with 10 minutes and if it becomes a problem, then we can always address it. So look at the list of boards and commissions. And let me tell you just some comments on George's review. So we have the Cable Commission, the Environmental Commission, Housing Authority, Insurance Fund Commission, Public Library, Sewer Authority, and the UEZ. And at our last meeting, we were saying we didn't think that this was kind of the right forum for the planning and the zoning boards to do a presentation. So we didn't include them with this. And George, what you're suggesting is that the Housing Authority and the Sewer Authority would also kind of not be appropriate?
Right. My feeling was, they're very much different than our volunteer boards, such as environmental. They're more dependent and more closely connected to the city for their operations. The Housing Authority and the Sewer Authority, they have their own professionals. They really run very, very similarly to the municipality as a branch of government. And also in our daily practice, when we get calls from residents about their operations, and I wouldn't want to say we're passing the buck, but we do inform residents that we really don't control their operations, and we really can't resolve a lot of the issues they have, and we give them direction for who to contact at those two boards. So I wouldn't want to give the false impression that they are really answerable to us in any way more than they are, and I think this may lead to that. So that was my reason. I think they should probably be kept separately. And again, I did comment to you that even though the library has its own board of trustees, they are very directly connected to us. We collect their funds and disperse them. Their employees are technically employees of the city, even though they do fall under the purview of the trustees. So that may be more appropriate. My real strong feelings were about housing and sewer. I just think we don't want to mix those in and give people the impression that they're under our control operationally, because they truly are.
And they're actually independent authorities, so it's different. They're not boards, your boards or commission.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment. I'm fine with it.
No, I understand the way where they were coming from, George. And when they got the lawyers and everybody else involved,
Right.
it's a whole different ballgame.
Mhm.
It's like the planning and the board, we have to be careful what we say. So this way we don't get our foot on our mouths, you know what I mean? So that's why you got somebody coming to represent for us, and they gotta be very careful what they say. So that's why when you have professionals involved, it's a different story.
Yeah, the two boards, Councilman, planning and zoning, I think we can only get in trouble if we have members come on and comment about projects or activities.
Mhm.
We'll be reading that in testimony at your truly, you don't want to talk outside of those.
No.
forums, so.
Yeah.
No, negative, no.
Okay, great.
Anina, while we're talking about these various commissions, can we update, Heather, can you look into that? Can we update all the various commissions and their members and
Good idea.
update the vacancy list also? Because I can see people that are on here are no longer with us. So if we can do that, because I like to invite more people to sign up for some of these commissions.
Yeah, we need more people. That's a good suggestion.
Thank you.
And, in the letter, we said, probably the chair is going to do the presentation they can choose whoever in the committee they want to do the presentation, but they can certainly have committee members come and be in the audience, but a membership list would be helpful. So just to want, keep watching our time a little bit, we will eliminate the housing authority, the sewer authority, the planning board and the zoning board. It will keep us busy enough with the other ones that are on the list. And I would ask, Heather, you and I can work on the schedule of how, reaching out to the committees. I know the cable commission has done a tremendous amount of work. Well, I know several of them have. So we'll line them up, and I think it'll be really informative for us to just get a better handle on everything that these committees are doing. It's a lot of work, and if we're all pulling in the same direction, that would be great. Okay, old business, any new business? Okay, let me just very quickly mention one, and I'm pretty pleased about this. And this was a conversation that I actually had with Director Saldidis. All of us on the council, you all know that we get Nick. Where's Nick? There he is. Nick, you know that Eric sends an excellent report to us every month. And by excellent, I mean, the format of it is very good. It's informative. It's just a quick way of getting a lot of information. And what Director Saldidis and I were talking about, Officer Michael Decker attended the HERES steering committee meeting and did an excellent report. Usually it's Kim Levy, who also, very well represents the police department on the HERES committee. And we talked with the director on providing us, with the council, with a similar, very simple monthly report of the statistics relating to the opioid epidemic. How many calls, how many overdoses. They certainly can shape what, the critical information for that report, but it's such a major issue for everybody, Long Branch included, almost Long Branch particularly, we've said many times our numbers for Long Branch are kind of horrifying as it relates to the epidemic. So we talked about they will be providing us with a report, very brief report, so that we all become a little bit more informed of what's actually happening on our streets and what's actually happening in terms of what our police have to deal with and all of our social service agencies have to deal with as far as the opioid epidemic. So again, Director, maybe you and I can talk about when that can actually start, hopefully for our next meeting or whatever you decide, and just if there's any input on that idea from any of the council, anyone on the call here at the meeting. Okay, all right. So Director, we'll follow up on that. And so if there are no other comments for old business, new business, review of the regular meeting agenda. Anybody have any questions?
I'm good.
I'm sorry, Councilman. I was on mute on that question, Councilwoman. I will send out an email to all of council. I have kind of a bullet list of what I would answer on that report. And if there's anything, suggestions from council that would like to be reflected in that report, just send me an email back and I'll incorporate it.
Great. Good, thank you. How were we? Comments on the regular meeting agenda? Anybody?
No, we're good.
I'm good.
I'm
No
good.
comment.
Okay, all right, good. I need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items. Executive session for attorney-client privilege, quality of life issue, Councilman Vieira and Public Safety Director Salditas. Athletic events, George Jackson, energy aggregation, Lou Rainone, litigation, Lower Broadway, Lou Rainone, the Bluffs, Lou Rainone, contract negotiations, Seaview Towers, Lou Rainone, Seashore Day Camp, Lou Rainone, and Green Spot, Lou Rainone. That's why we wanted to make sure your mic was working, Lou. There you go.
Hope for the best. You know, if it gets better or worse.
Do I have a motion?
So move. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Okay, good. Thank you. Will you get us set up?